Everyone's sitting on today. We have another legend in the building. Guest speaker today, Mr. Piff Poppy. So I don't know if you guys follow him on Instagram. He usually lives down the road from me here in Medellin. He's close 6 million. He's a master at emotional intelligence and sales. He's coached and trained some of the reps who have on this offer. So he's an absolute G. And he's going to be taking us through a session today on emotional intelligence in sales. So Andres, you're welcome to take the stage, my man. Welcome, brother.
You, Brian? Yeah, I'm the original Piff Poppy. I know a lot of the younger guns are trying to take that name, but I coined that one years ago. Thanks for having me on, guys. I'm going to go into kind of what we're going to dive into today. This will be quite interactive. That's how I find you'll actually retain things. I'll talk a little bit about my background and then get you guys some sauce to go implement to your day, make some more money, hit another record week. I am, just to give you guys a little bit of a heads up, I'm normally in Colombia, down the road from Brian here. I am in the Caribbean right now. We're gearing up for quite a big event today. I don't think there should be any background noise, but if there is, I'll do my best to work through it. Can I get permission here to share my screen?
Absolutely.
Sweet. Okay, it's actually good to go. All right, cool. This is what we're going to dive into, guys. How do we break frames through language patterns, and how do we apply emotional intelligence into sales? That's what's allowed me in the beginning to do quite well with very little sales training. And then when I started adding sales training, it all clicked very quickly. And I was able to, things I learned from different trainers, different managers, it was easier for me to make it my own. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I've worked with a sales trainer and I'm trying, I sound like them or trying to do what they're doing, and it doesn't always work. And so this is how I've been able to make things much more authentic to myself. And we're going to go into why the excuses your prospects give you are the exact reasons that they should buy. So sound good? You guys can let me know in the chat. That sounds good. And you're going to hear me say that all day today. Let me know in the chat. So if this is a quiet, one-sided call, thank you. I'm just going to question my existence. All right, great. So let's do this. Can I have like 30 seconds as to like why you guys should listen to me? Is that okay?
Let's
Yeah.
go.
All right, cool. Sweet. So I've been in the high ticket space for a few years now. I've done over 6 million in sales. I average about 25 to 30K a month for over 2.5 years on three different accounts. My biggest win is that I was doing that on a 4.5 day work week after I negotiated some revenue share and some other things in my favor, which isn't always possible. But when you are a top producer, doors open up. And emotional intelligence has been like the base of my sales process and what I teach now. I've sold on B2C and B2B offers, sold everything from business coaching to men's work, helping guys kind of work through their BS. And I think a lot of that applies directly to what you guys are doing here with fitness, because all of that is working through mental baggage. So that's like all the accolades, whatever cares. This is really what I like to do, guys. I got into this to do fun stuff. I like to surf, adrenaline, horseback riding here in Colombia, um, traveling all over. I like to snowboard, went to Japan, bought a bunch of unnecessary toys, and they were some of the best moments that I've collected up until now. But this is really why I got into this. My parents are older. My dad just turned 70. We celebrated that in Peru. Him and my mother have been together for over 40 years. And, I was able to fly them out to Colombia. I've taken them to Japan. And this is really why I wake up every day, the smile on my face to take this industry head on. And so I share this as an invitation to all of you guys. Sales will test you, as I'm sure all of you guys have experienced by now. And just be very clear every day. Why are you doing this for? Who are you doing it for? The accomplishments that you're reaching. Who do you want to share it with? In my opinion, the quality of life is your quality of life is determined by your quality of your relationships, and I just cannot express that enough. Especially, I'm 33 now. My parents are getting older. We have people passing away, people getting sick, and being able to step up and support the family financially in ways that I didn't expect 10 years ago has been very fulfilling. And I hope that all of you guys can find that why inside of you to support the people you care about. Cool. that's what I got for you. Let's dive in to some sales training. Let me share my screen one more time. So put in the chat for me, guys. How do you define emotional intelligence? Take a stab at. Thank you, Jimena. Jimena, good to see you, girl. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Kevin. Empathy, showing, understanding how someone feels, clarity. Fantastic. It is not empathy, actually. And I think empathy is a very slippery slope in sales, guys. Compassion is okay. I used to think empathy was a superpower. I think empathy actually enables incorrect behaviors. Compassion, I think, builds trust, but also gives us an opportunity to challenge. So, emotional intelligence, yes, is the understanding of emotions. How many of you guys just asked ChatGPT for that? Hope none of you. It is the understanding of emotions. And when we can understand our own triggers, when we can understand where our emotions come from and the beliefs that create those, we can do the same thing with our prospects. My opinion, language, and it's like the small gaps that our prospects say is the window to someone's beliefs. And if we can find their beliefs, we can find the reasons why they're behaving in a way that isn't congruent to where they want. Simple enough, right? It's like probably a refresher for most of you guys. Yeah. Cool. So, how many of you guys have worked with another trainer or worked on another offer and you're getting great coaching, but you kind of like struggle to maybe adapt it into your own words, into your own authentic expression? Does that happen to anybody? That's happened to me, by the way. I dropped 18K on a program. I was like, I should probably do everything that this coach tells me, to the point that I sounded like him and my performance dropped. I was already doing decently well. So I had to figure out how to apply it to myself. Yeah, a bunch of you guys. Okay, good. So this is going to help you guys click a lot of the training, maybe a lot of the support you're getting here is when you're speaking to a prospect, is there a language coming from someone who's in victim or taking full responsibility or ownership for the situation? So, guys, do me a favor here in the chat. How would you define someone who's in victim? Someone's off mute. And I'm not talking about the victim of a natural disaster. So, like someone who's in victim. Oh, you guys have been trained, boys. Let's get it. Fantastic. Exactly. Externalizing. Oh, perfect. This is going to be fun. So, someone taking ownership, how do you define them? Yeah, nothing is my fault. Yeah, you guys, I'm sure have been trained on this because this is 90% of fitness sales. So, what about someone taking ownership and responsibility? Yeah, they're self aware. Exactly. They're doing everything in their control. Very good. It is my fault. Might not have been my problem, or might not have been me who created this situation, but it is damn well my problem solved. Very good. So I'm going to take you guys through an exercise, if that's okay. Before I do, I want to share a quick story. I was actually training Brian Joel's community maybe a few weeks ago. There's a guy who was asking me all the great questions, but the way he was asking me his questions, like I could tell in his mind, he wanted to have the exact perfect thing to say after every prospect's response. And I could tell based on how he was asking. And this might resonate with some of you guys. So I asked him, and I was like, "Hey man, can I you on the spot? Can I coach you here openly and vulnerably here for a second?" He said, "Yeah, sure." And I asked him, how old are you?" He's like, 29. I was like, "Based on these questions, I'm curious, and you don't have to answer this is uncomfortable. Are you single?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm single." When's the last time you've gone to a coffee shop and seen like a lovely lady just sipping coffee by herself and gone up to her and started a conversation? And he said, I don't think I've ever done that. I was like, respectfully, I can tell because, and I'm not a dating coach or anything like that, but I could tell in the way that he was asking that he was trying to think of the next thing to say instead of actually understanding what his prospect was saying so he could really open up a deeper connection. Okay. My coaching to him was, you know what you're doing, Sviga? That's exactly where you're going to go. And the response was, I live in a small town. Is that someone in victim or responsibility? Right? Victim. Exactly. I was like, cool. Open up your Google Maps, search up shopping mall. How far is it? 40 minutes? Problem solved. And so it's these minor things, guys, that when we can realize we're doing in our day to day, we're going to be able to challenge our prospect in a way that actually feels like it's progressing the sale and we're not butting heads. Okay. Sometimes you will, is what it is. Welcome to sales. So grab a piece of paper, or open up your notepad on maps. You guys down to do something interactive? Yes. Thanks, Cage. You sure? All right, cool. This is really good. I think it's gonna be really interesting with this group, actually. And I'm gonna compare this to the other groups I've done this with. So, if you guys are familiar with the Wheel of Life, it is a coaching modality that we use when we're supporting our clients, and we're looking at all the areas of life. Now, I am a firm believer that temporary imbalance is a real thing, that there's going to be periods of your life that certain areas take focus and priority over others. And it's something I've subscribed to and has very much served me. And for this exercise, I want you to pick one area of your life. And don't worry, I'm not going to put you guys on blast, make you share it to the class. To pick one area of your life that you aren't satisfied with the results you're getting. Pick one. It could be family, relationships, love and romance, finances. Go ahead and write it down. Or actually, appreciate you guys sharing in the chat. That's fine too. The next question, don't feel like you need to write in the chat. So pick one. Maybe it's physical. I know for me, it was physical for a bit. Cool. Everyone good? Everyone pick one? Let me know if you guys are all set. If you guys are complete. Thank you, Jack. Okay. So you picked one. What about it aren't you happy with? Write that down. You don't have to write that in the chat. Write that down somewhere personal. What about that area in your life? What results are you getting that you're not? And let me know in the chat when you're complete. Cool. Great. Now, right under that, why you're not happy with that. Why are you not okay with it? Why aren't you satisfied? Why aren't you happy with it? All right. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Sam. Cool. Now write the real reason why you're not happy. You gave me the first reason. Give me the real reason. Be honest with yourself. And no, you don't need to share. Let me know when you're done. Cool. You guys are quick. Now let me know the real reason. Be honest with yourself. Take a second. What's the real reason you're not happy with that? Let me know when you're all set. And now, I need you guys to take a second. Why are we letting that happen? Why are we tolerating? What's preventing us? Why haven't we changed it already? What's the reason you haven't solved it? Let me know when you're all set. Therapy starting early, huh? Maybe we should have sent out waivers beforehand. All right, and this is where y'all get cooked. The reason you put down, is it internal, is it external? Put it in the chat. I knew I was going to have fun with this group. Very good. Self-awareness is there for about every single person here. It's exactly what I wanted to see, because guess what, guys? You are the mirror to your prospects. Got a good group of guys, Brian. Guys and gals. Very good. When there's no awareness, it's very easy to let prospects' language slide, right? Since you guys have self-awareness, we can find that internal conviction to challenge the very common things I'm sure you guys hear. I don't know if that was the best time, or I don't have a lot of time. I have kids. You don't know what it's like to have 3 kids. It's been a busy time of the year. You know, all this sounds good, but so did everything. And so did the last 5 sales calls I've been in. I really hope you're right that this could work. Or I really hope that this is it. Or I really hope that I get better soon. Or maybe I should finish the things that I've tried before I try something new. I've been really trying, but, right? These are all what I said above, the language that is giving us the window to someone's beliefs. Because the language shows the behaviors, and the behaviors show the beliefs. And so you guys are clocking it if someone's externalizing or taking responsibility, right? The people that take responsibility, what do we call those? Laydowns. But that's what, maybe 8%, 10% of the people we talk to, if that. So if their success is conditional on something outside of them, meaning if they aren't willing to take responsibility to do something about it, are they going to take responsibility to solve it? No. So why would they? And so this is where, for a lot of you guys that already know this, how to reframe, this is where we start reframing perspectives. And I'll show you guys my methodology. There's tons of ways to do it. I have my own approach. But what we want to bring awareness to here is that exact point. Okay, I'm hearing these things, and I'm not saying you're right or wrong for them. But if we just focus on what's directly within your control, right? Do you feel like you're doing everything to actually heal your XYZ? How come? So what's really going on internally that's telling you that story? And I'll go into what stories mean in a second. And how long has that pattern been present for? And I think for a lot of us, when we're reframing, I think a lot of you guys know how to reframe. I think one thing that a lot of sales reps miss is creating congruency in new behaviors or new actions. I feel like a lot of you guys know how to reframe, right? Let me know in the chat. Of course you do. Y'all are making money. Yeah. Now, one thing to make a reframe land even more powerfully is like, okay, now we've addressed why this pattern has been here and that this pattern needs to change. Because if this pattern doesn't change, what happens? So for this conversation, can you give yourself permission to let that belief go? Can you give yourself permission to let that put that excuse behind you? Can you give yourself permission to XYZ and have them accept that? And when you have them accept that, right? Humans don't like to be incongruent. It won't pre-handle every objection. You'll probably still get other objections because you're selling fitness. It is what it is. But that's how you get someone to now step into that. And now the rest of your conversation is a lot deeper. And I'm going to go into another slide here in a second. But at the core, what I believe and what has served me very early on. So I was doing half decent. I got to like 15K my first couple months as a closer. No sales training. I was just like, anytime I heard their objections, my objection handling back then was so all over the place, but I was closing people because I was helping them realize that the objection that they're giving me is the exact reason why they should buy. They don't have time. Well, it's because they haven't actually communicated to their family that they need support with their kids because they haven't taken themselves seriously enough. So by investing $6,000 in themselves, they're proving to themselves that they actually are worthy of support because they see themselves, you know, bigger than they are. And that's going to give them the confidence required to ask their family for support. And this is how you can start linking different beliefs together in a way that doesn't seem overcomplicated and help your prospects actually make meaningful changes and not just buy, but actually become great clients. Because when you have great clients, they refer, and I don't know if you have upsells, but they upsell. More money for everyone. Everyone wins. I'm going to pause for a second. Got a couple other things to go into because we're just flying by with you guys. I don't have to like objection handle anyone yet. What are you guys hearing me say so far? Takeaways. Amen. Good to see you.
I love hello. I love the giving permission to yourself because I feel like that clearly puts them in a path of like, okay, I'm gonna stop it consciously. Not only, yeah, this could happen, but like I'm gonna stop it right now. So I feel that's for me, that's kind of like the biggest takeaway right now.
Yeah. And that's where you're going to like, you're going to see where that's where the fear will come up. If people are like, yeah, I want to say yes, you just don't move on. You just unpack that right then and there. George.
Yeah, I think an important takeaway, man, is just that it's always the reason you're in positions is always down to your actions that have led to that point. There's always things that you could have done better or differently, and it's about people taking ownership of the position they're in, whether that's what we do here or our own positions. It's all about ownership. We have control over our reality.
Yeah. Well said. Rohan. Sick name.
Yeah, thanks, my man. Likewise. I wanted to share there that even what Jimena said there, like, can you give yourself permission to let go? Really holding them accountable to step into that new identity now on the call and hold themselves to that standard. Because I find when I have this shift well in the call and the reframe, it's like they'll catch themselves, like they'll catch that old version and they'll even do it themselves. They'll correct themselves instead of being like a bit uncertain to like hold himself to that standard. It's like, oh no, that's that old voice, and then you got him. So it definitely makes sense, definitely aligns.
Mhm.
So amazing stuff.
Very good. Very, very good takeaway. Josh.
What I really liked there was about the support. Like, so I talked to a lot of moms and they always put their kids first, which is a priority. But being able to say, like, how confident are you when you're going to talk to your husband about needing the support to be able to actually do this? Because a lot of times when we'll talk to the husband will say, what the heck? You just talk to some guy on a Zoom call? What?
Yeah. Good. Very good. So Emma.
I was just wondering what you thought about, like, this is more of a question, but when they agree with you, like, that they have to take different action to get a different result, and they're like, yes, 100%, but then the money or something, there's still something, even though they fully are saying, like, 100% agree with you, but I don't know, like, they're still not there because of something. How would you go about that?
Are we talking more like towards objections or still in our discovery?
Yeah, no objections.
Okay. If you're dealing with that objections, and we can kind of unpack this towards the end as well. You can do like, I mean, what I like to do, my sales style is I like to do pushaways. It's like, I mean, you don't have to do this. It sounds like you want to. I mean, what happens if you don't? You can do it like a short consequence. My sales style personally, and I get away with this because of my tonality, is like a lot of pushaways. I mean, you don't have to do anything you want to do. It's really easy to say that you're 100%, but here at the moment of making a decision is where we're finding every reason why we can't. I want to talk to the version of you that finds every reason why we can. So what needs to change for me to talk to that person right here, right now? That's how I would kind of go about that. But it's the push away and the diffusing that then allows me to.
Yeah, thank you. That's great.
You're welcome. Damien.
This is sick, Andres. Thanks so much. That exercise you did on us, like when you said the real reason and then the real reason, would you use that on calls with prospects to like go as deep as you possibly can, or do you ever get pushback?
You could. It depends on like how the conversation's going. Like if you're finding what you're needing then you can move on. If you're not, if you're getting surface level, then you can. And I would normally on a sales call give context to why I'm going to ask something for a second or third time. Because if you don't, you might piss a client off. I just told you. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to ask this again. It's because I really want to see like what's the real motivator. Or what I really like to do is like, can I talk to you as if you were already a client? Can I talk to you as if you're already a client? So I'm going to ask that question again. What's really the reason why? Because that will put you in more of like an expert lens versus like a salesperson. Make sense?
Cool. Yeah. Thanks.
Cool. All right, guys. Good stuff. Let's keep going. Yeah. Amen. Amen.
Just a quick one. So what happens like if there's, let's say, a prospect like they haven't been consistent like for 2 years, or they're like given excuses, but like they got breast cancer and their parent died, and they got divorced. I didn't feel comfortable, and then they jump into call, and this is the right time for me to do this. I feel like I'm a little bit clear right now.
Mhm.
I don't feel comfortable challenging them because I feel like I'm not gonna like be empathizing or understanding where
Sure.
they're coming from, right? So how do you want to go about that?
Yeah, when I get grief, people deep in grief,
Mhm.
which are kind of fringe cases, but it does happen.
Mhm.
I don't challenge them at that point, but I will lead them to give themselves permission to move forward.
Mm.
So if someone's like, and actually this happened to me, business coaching, this woman was like, this is the month my son passed away 2 years ago. And like, I'm always extremely emotional. And so in the discovery, when she shared that, I was like, yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's heavy. I have never experienced that. To be honest, I lost a pet. So I couldn't imagine what you're going through. Um, do you feel like you can give yourself the permission to channel everything you've gone through into something that will actually serve you moving forward? You tell me.
Mm. Okay.
And so I'm not getting deep into their grief. Like I'm not a counselor to talk about how to overcome grief, but I want them to give themselves a permission to channel that into something that's going to serve them.
All right. Got you, bro. That was amazing. Thank you.
All right. Let's do a little bit more. So just give me a refresher for you guys. And then this we'll do, I'll give you guys kind of like my reframe method. I'm sure you guys are following some version of it. But limiting beliefs, in my opinion, they're not right or wrong. They just are, right? Like it's neutral. They're true to that person, right? Because no one's like necessarily born with limiting beliefs. It's our environment. It's who and what we're exposed to. It's the experiences that we go through in our lives, right? And while that doesn't make them inherently true, it feels true to the prospect because it's constant, right? Like it's very different. Like if you, I'm funny, I'm on an island right now. If you're on a desolate island, right, with no internet, it's very difficult to inspire yourself to be an entrepreneur, right? There's no inspiration, there's no examples, no reference points, right? And you can apply that same to every belief set, positive or negative, right? And so and I share that so we can understand human psychology, right? And we can, how do we work with it, right? Now, I like to label beliefs as stories. It's a story that we tell ourselves. It's a story that we choose. If we can choose to believe it, we can choose not to believe it, right? I can choose to believe that at, 33 years old, right? I could choose to believe that, oh, this is so perfect for you guys, that my age is starting to kick in. And that's why I'm no longer in good shape. Or I could choose to believe that I'm in my prime. Look at me. I look great. What do I have to do to keep operating at the athletic level that I'm at? Both of these can be true for me. Which one am I choosing that serves me? And this line right here, one, it made me a lot of money in sales, but has served me in my own personal development. It's served me in my relationships. Has served me in every area of life. If we are going to pick a story to live in, can we pick one that serves us? It is the same thing with your prospects. You don't have to talk about reframing. You guys know what that is. Broken beliefs and beliefs, as we know, they are beliefs that don't serve a person in accomplishing what they say they want. It's very important. Not what we think we want for them, what they say they want. They say they want these things. What are the actions and beliefs and ways of thinking that are currently present that isn't allowing that to happen? So these are common ones. These are like the logistical ones, I should say. I don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of money. I'm looking for the right fit. I'm looking for the perfect program. That's why I have 19 sales calls set up for the next 2 weeks. And we have deeper ones, deeper core beliefs. I'm not good enough. It can't be. I don't know if I can be a certain way. I don't know. Like I've lived my whole life thinking I'm this way, right? And we're unraveling that in 45 minutes. I don't believe it's possible because I haven't done it yet. I don't have proof, right, that it's possible for me. These are the deeper core beliefs that we often want to uncover. These are the things we need to look for because people don't come to a call and spill all this out in minute 3. So these are the things that we're looking for through our discovery questions. Now, we'll do a couple examples here with you guys, but this is my method, and this is things that I've learned through my own personal development. These are things that I've seen work from the different trainers I've worked with. You guys can take a screenshot if you'd like. And you guys are all very good at this, turning external into internal. But we don't want to just come out the gate just challenging someone, right? Because we haven't built maybe that trust yet. So I always like to lead with clarifying and defining a little bit extra. I'm always leading with curiosity, maybe asking 1 or 2 extra why questions. And then I'm always asking for permission. Is it okay if I just like ask you about that specifically? Or can I speak to you as, like I said before, can I speak to you as if I was already coaching you or as if you're already a client? Tell me about that. Is there something underneath that I feel like is important for this conversation? And this is where, with permission, we can land an analogy. I'm sure you guys have a boat of analogies. If not, I have an analogy AI bot that I've been playing around with. I can share it with you guys. Or you can just directly challenge. I built the AI bot because I had to learn analogies by Googling them when I was first starting off because I just wasn't that good with analogies, but I'm damn good at challenging people. But either way, you'll be able to do that after you ask for permission. We find what needs to change. We can consequence it if we need to. And like I said before, we ask permission to let it go. So, I mean, these are kind of the examples I have, but I can see you're the only one I can see right now. Want to come off mute for me? Amen Al Sinan with the killer red shades.
Yes. Hey.
What's a common like level 1 objection that you get or level 1 belief?
Didn't have the time. Busy
And then
kids. Were
perfect.
users.
I'm going to run it with you and show you kind of how I would do something simple. Give you guys an example. So let's say we're in a discovery and you're telling me like, you've just been really busy. And we'll run from there. Go for it.
Yeah. I just been busy, work, family, kids.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, I get up to work till 7, like from 7 to 7. I get home, tired, want to spend time with the kids. Right. So,
yeah. So we don't want to spend less time with the kids, right?
Yeah.
I guess for you, if I can be a little direct here.
Yeah, sure.
Are you, and be honest with me, do you feel like there's other people in your situation that are busy, that have families that are able to accomplish what you want?
Maybe.
Why do you say maybe?
I mean, of course there is, right?
Yeah, you tell me. There is, right?
Yeah.
What's different about them? What do they do differently?
Motivation, like they're more motivated.
Motivation fades. Try again.
Priority.
You believe that?
Yeah.
Okay. Why aren't you prioritizing yourself so when you do have time with your family, you can be more active and more present?
I don't know, like maybe I have to wake up in the morning like 4 or 5 so that I can do something about it, maybe.
You don't have to. You actually don't have to do anything. Can I speak to you as if you were already a client, though?
Sure.
If you don't prioritize yourself and do what's actually required, not what you want, but what's required, what happens a year from now? Are you feeling in your body the same way that you are today?
It will get worse, right?
And then what?
I mean, my head pain will just keep getting worse, and it's gonna be
Then
hard
what?
to keeping up with the kids. I find it hard now, so God knows what happens.
Are we okay with that?
Sorry?
Are we okay with that?
No, of course not.
Why not? Your actions say differently, respectfully.
Yeah, I mean, of course I want to keep up with my kids, right? I want to continue doing my job, right? Because, I'm in construction, my buddy needs me, right?
Mhm.
So it's already like impacting me a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, your job needs you, your family needs you, you need you. If we don't prioritize ourselves, man, like what happens a year from now, 2 years from now. Do you think, at least for this conversation, like, do we have permission? Can you give yourself permission to prioritize yourself? Like, finally, so that your hips don't have to deteriorate and you don't have to like sit on the sidelines when your kids grow up.
Oh yeah, of course. Sure.
You sure? It's easy to say.
Oh yeah, no, I'm with you.
There's a reframe, and then this is style. You were on the hot seat, brother. Takeaways from you.
Yeah, it's just personality, bro. It's sick, right? It really, really matters, right? And it's when you said like, can I talk to you like a client? It felt like different, right? I wasn't resistant. Sometimes when I do these reframes, like I almost do the same, but it feels like, you're pushing too much, right?
Mhm.
So, and you're getting so yeah, when you said that, I'm just taking it, right? And accepting what you're saying. But that was
Yeah.
good, man.
Yeah, well, thanks for being a good prospect. So that's level 1. I do want to give us like 10 minutes here for some Q&A. But you can apply the same thing, guys, to every objection or belief that you're getting. I typically like to do this in my discovery. It doesn't always happen, but when you can do this in your discovery, right, there is less sales resistance. We haven't just price dropped a 10K offer, and the line, "Can I talk to you as if you were already a client? Can I talk to you as if I was already your coach?" has given me so much permission to just say the thing. I work with a lot of female sales reps. I don't know how, but 80% of my community is women. And for a lot of the women, it's like they know what they want to say, but they don't want to say it. So giving themselves that permission allows them to feel more comfortable and being direct. And for the gentlemen, right, I think a lot of you guys have no issue being direct, but it allows what you're saying to actually be received without building sales resistance that you can't come back from. So this whole concept is to show us, and it takes some practice, obviously, to show us that whatever the prospect is saying, what has allowed me to just like sit in the pocket is like, how can I help this person see that everything they're telling me is the exact same reason why they should? They don't have time. That's why they need to buy this so they make time, right? Like if they don't have money, that's why they need to invest in themselves so they have more skills. And when you can just come back to that, it's going to allow you to sit in the pocket when you are objection handling way longer without it getting to a point of like, again, sales resistance that you can't come back from. So that's what I got for you guys today. I wanted to leave some time for some Q&A. How do we do, Brian? Learn a thing or two?
That was fire, man. Like, this is perfect for this offer as well. Like, this is absolutely perfect for this offer. I actually have a question, man. For you, like, how did you get deep in emotional intelligence? Was that from like healing parts of yourself, or what was it?
Yeah. Yeah, I actually, that was my first experience of buying a high ticket program. I was coming up off of like a failed startup and like just like a pretty bad financial spot, and a friend of mine sold me into a personal development program, and he had no sales training, but he was just leveling me, just like calling all the things I was saying and showing me why I was being a victim to my situation instead of doing something about it. So I ended up going through this leadership program. It's a spinoff of Landmark. If some of you guys are familiar with that, very powerful program. And that helped me really see what areas in my life I was allowing myself to be a victim to instead of taking ownership of. And it's all related, right? I was in a financial bind, but that was also impacting my relationships and my self confidence. And because of that, there was shame. So I wasn't showing up for my family in the same way. And that moment, that experience really showed me how important personal development is in our journey of entrepreneurship and sales.
Awesome, bro.
Good
Bro, and you had a
question.
question?
Yeah, that's super powerful, Andres. Really appreciate you sharing that. I want to ask. I kind of feel like I answered my own question by listening to you there, anyway. But I have a lot of these prospects on this offer. They have tried like loads. They generally have been trying for like 15, 20
Mhm.
years to fix their pain. They've invested tens of thousands of dollars. They are active, and they almost
Cool.
have the. They do say like I'm taking the responsibility. I just can't fix it. I do find it difficult to put the responsibility on those prospects and kind of run through that framework because I do feel that shit, they actually have been trying. So like that's where I kind of come into a bit of sometimes it gets a bit headbutty for me. So I was going to ask if you have any advice on that, like going through a framework and kind of almost disarming it and putting responsibility on them, even if they have tried loads and are invested and are kind of taking responsibility slightly earlier.
Yeah. So if you have prospects like that, what I would do, I'm sure there's a few different ways to go about it, but what I would do personally is like empower them a bit. Like, dude, kudos to you for doing all this and still be here, willing to try something else.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, you understand your situation better than anyone. What happens if we actually like give up on ourselves, maybe being this close to finally finding the solution? So that's like my style of like pushing away and having them come and sell me. But it's only with those types of prospects. Like this wouldn't work with people that are stuck in their own way because it's just going to give them more excuses to tie into. But for what you asked, that's how I personally go about it.
Mm. Yeah, 100%. Because I still kind of use that framework in terms of like, do you believe like there are people in your situation who have achieved the result? Yeah, and move through it. But I guess missing that empowering stage at the start can create that bit of, I'd say, headbutting because they kind of think you're almost blaming them, right?
Yeah, exactly. Great question, dude. Yeah, some good questions, man. Good stuff. Gosh, how you doing? You look familiar, man. Where did I know you from?
No, we almost worked together on an offer. I cold DM'd you one time and you reached out and we almost worked together. Yeah, I
Small
remember
world.
you have the sickest Instagram handle ever.
Hey,
Andres Piff
appreciate that.
Daddy. Yeah.
How can I help,
Man,
man?
thank you so much for just hopping on this call, man. I seriously, to me personally, I believe this was the best training so far. So thank you so much.
Appreciate that.
Seriously. I really loved first where the try again approach.
Mm,
It's soft, but it's also very firm. It's kind of like a whip. It's kind of like it
mm,
just whipped him real quick. That was very powerful. And I also thought it was very, very incredible how you said, if you're going to live in a story, pick one that serves you. And I just thought that was very, very helpful, man. I just want to say thank you. It's similar to what Confucius said. I think Will Smith rephrased it, where he says, "He who says he can and he who says he can't are both
yes.
usually right."
Are both usually right? Yes,
You
sir.
know, so I feel like yeah, so 100%. And it all comes with how you do anything is how you do everything. So
Everything.
if we
Yeah.
come in with a little bit of we're talking to a prospect about needing to be accountable for their own health and we are slacking on our own, it's going to become really hard to convert that into our tonality, into our conviction, into our words. So I agree 100%. So I just wanted to say thank you, man.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that reflection. Very good. All right, Emma, bring it home.
I have another question.
Sure.
Just wondering, so I find like with myself, I'm better with like the A type men that kind of just want to get from A to B and it's easy and I can challenge them and la la la. But for
Yeah.
a lot of people, like women and men that talk to me, they're like, I don't do what ifs. So I'm not thinking about the consequence because I'm here and I'm like, I'm not going to accept that. Even though they haven't done anything in a long time, but they refuse to, no matter what I say, they refuse to kind of think about, I'm telling them, okay, we're on this path, we've come from here, we need to shift that paradigm. So how are we going to do that if we can't even have a conversation about what the reality of the situation is? I'm just wondering what you do for those people that like absolutely refuse to what if themselves because they don't want to even consider it because it's not an option in their head.
So there's two ways that I would do it. One, if they're yeah, I don't do what ifs. The cheeky way is like, cool, because what if you did? That's just like a quick one. Or yeah, because like, what if you did let it? You just like re-ask it in a way. It's just like you don't move on. That's one way, and another way, like you could do this. Like sometimes it depends on the prospect, but you can give context. It's like, can I be real with you? I mean, if we're going to coach you, we need to also like we're going to be in the trenches with you. Like it's important for us to really understand what is going to really keep you motivated when we're not around. That way, if you're slacking, we have something that we can tap into to help you like raise your standard. So like if you're open to sharing, so we can coach you more effectively. What if this doesn't happen? You can get away with stuff like that on fitness offers. I personally like the first one though, because it's just cheeky. It's a little bit more my style. But both of those, I would give it a try and see what works for you. All right, guys.
Very cool.
It was fun.
That was unreal, man. We've had some absolute savage guest speakers. I've been getting a lot of DMs saying, this guy's fucking insane. This guy's tonality, all this stuff. So, bro, that was incredible, man. Really appreciate that. Guys, I'm going to drop Andres' IG, put it in the chat. If you want to work with him, and he's a perfect coach for this offer. Like, this is all the stuff we've been coaching. So, if you want to work with Andres, go follow him, DM him. He's an absolute G. But thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me on, guys. If you DM me, I'll send you my AI bot too. I don't have it handy.
Drop the payment link.
Clarity, yeah, we do accept Clarity Pay. Brian, thank you again, guys.
Thanks, man.
See you next time.
See you guys.